What's going on, everyone? Donovan Mitchell is officially available for trade because the Utah Jazz decided that they are going to hit that rebuild switch. Obviously, if the offer and the package is right. Well, it is being reported that he may be going to the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks and the Utah Jazz have engaged in discussions to put together a trade for Donovan Mitchell and send him to the New York Knicks. As it was put, the Knicks will quickly put together a package to try to get this deal done. And now Donovan Mitchell being a New York Knick, I have a lot of things about that we're going to dive into. But the trade package that could potentially be used to dangle to get Donovan Mitchell is being reported by Bobby Marks as 6 first-round draft picks. Yes, you heard that correctly. 6 first-round draft picks. RJ Barrett, Derrick Rose, and Julius Randle. That is an insane package. That is a Godfather package if you are the Utah Jazz. If this is a real package that is being offered for Donovan Mitchell and you are the Utah Jazz, you do this trade immediately. I mean, look, I love Donovan Mitchell. I think he is a great player, but he's not a superstar. He's not like, this is a Kevin Durant-esque trade. 6 first-round picks, RJ Barrett, a nice young player that could potentially be something, maybe an all-star, maybe even a star one day in this league. You get Julius Randle and you get Derrick Rose as filler, which the Utah Jazz could take those players and maybe flip them for other assets. I'm sure there are other teams that would love to take Derrick Rose, but if you could do this deal, you do this immediately. I don't think Donovan Mitchell will be with any other team but the Knicks if this trade actually happens. Miami, I think, makes a lot of sense for Donovan Mitchell, but they cannot put a package anywhere close to this because the New York Knicks have 22 draft picks. So they could trade 6 picks and still have enough picks to go get something else. So right off the bat, RJ Barrett obviously is the prize here besides the draft picks. Julius Randle is kind of more filler, but if Julius Randle could get back to that 2 seasons ago, Julius Randle, he could be a pretty solid pickup. Maybe you could kind of flip him or you just keep him. Again, it's just kind of filler. You kind of need to match the salaries, things like that. And then as far as like Derrick Rose goes, again, he's a guy that I could see the Utah Jazz taking and flipping for like another first-round draft pick. So it is being reported that Utah wants draft picks in this trade, which makes sense because they already traded Rudy Gobert. They already got just treasure trove of draft picks in that deal. And then on top of that, if you're trading Donovan Mitchell, you're hitting the full reset button. So you need draft picks. You need as many draft picks as possible. And if you could build this treasure trove of just draft picks and you get 1 or 2, all you need to do is hit on like 3 of those picks. And then if you still have, say 7 picks after that, you can kind of take those and maybe go get that 3rd star or whatever, especially if guys are on a younger deal. But very likely Utah is going to go the, Memphis Grizzlies, Golden State Warriors route, where they try to just build a new team, try to build a contender over the next, several years. That kind of route is what I think. So Derrick Rose would be a nice sort of trade chip that they could acquire. Julius Randle, like I said, depending on the Julius Randle you get, could develop into a nice trade chip. Like by the trade deadline, you might get a team that would be interested in Randle if he's playing like he was, with the Knicks 2 years ago. And then RJ Barrett, he's the young guy that you can build around, that has the promise, that has the potential and all of those things. So you get your kind of cornerstone guy. Now, here's the thing. If I'm being honest, I think this would be the dumbest trade in the world for the New York Knicks. I just think this trade makes absolutely no sense. Maybe if you can keep RJ Barrett, okay, that's justifiable, right? Yeah, you're giving up the picks, but you have 22 of them. You got to do something with them at some point, right? So, okay, you go get a guy in Donovan Mitchell. You're not really losing much in Derrick Rose. You're not really losing much in Julius Randle. You kind of get lucky and you're getting off of the Julius Randle deal that you gave him, which is, based on last year, is kind of a bad deal. Derrick Rose, yeah, he's great. Knicks fans love him. He's really balled out for the Knicks and kind of reinvented his career in many ways. But he deserves to go to a contender. He deserves to be a part of a team that, that he can actually shine on, things like that. Maybe you could get a team that would bite and get another first for that and that deal. But RJ Barrett, I wouldn't trade RJ Barrett for Donovan Mitchell. And here's the thing. I would if they didn't already have Jalen Brunson. Like, this is why this trade makes absolutely no sense, and to me just feels like a desperation trade. Like, seriously, that's what this feels like. This feels like the Knicks doing Knick types of trades. Like, it makes no sense. You just got a guy that is the same player. They're both 6'1". They both are terrible defenders. They both score and play the exact same way. If you go and get Donovan Mitchell, you're basically putting two players together that are the same player. Like, if they didn't go and get Jalen Brunson, I completely understand going and getting Donovan Mitchell. That makes all the sense in the world. But you're going to have two undersized guards that do the same thing. You might have the worst backcourt defensively ever. Ever. I mean, Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum were a pretty bad defensive backcourt, but this just takes the cake. I mean, this is just like, hey, you know, we don't care. Come on, layups. Let's do it. And it's not like New York has a bunch of like primetime defenders around these guys. It's not like they have, you know, Rudy Gobert down there that can just block, you know, 30 shots a game, and you can kind of just, you don't have to be a great defender, just kind of funnel them to the center and you're good. No, like, offensively they might be great, especially because Jalen Brunson, he's already played the number 2, where Donovan has kind of always been the guy. But who knows if this is going to work? You got two undersized guards that do the exact same thing. They are the exact same player. It makes no logical sense to me, especially if you're giving up R.J. Barrett. Look, Donovan Mitchell, like I said, he is a good player. He is not great. He's probably not even top 25 in the league. And this trade is for a guy like Kevin Durant. This really, and this is something else I should make a video dedicated to individually, is like, this would impact the Kevin Durant trade tremendous. I don't think Kevin Durant is ever getting traded if this is the deal that Donovan Mitchell goes to the Knicks for. Like, this, I mean, this just feels like the New York Knicks trying to do something to be relevant. And look, as an NBA fan, I am not a Knicks fan, but as an NBA fan, it is great for the Mecca of basketball to be good in the NBA. That is great for the NBA. That is great financially. It is great promotion. It is great everything. You're talking about the biggest market in the world. If their team is relevant and great, this is huge. But this isn't how you do that. Like, you're better off just holding tight, see what Brunson does, and then wait for another disgruntled star, because it happens every year or every couple years. Get some other disgruntled star that wants out, and you have 22 draft picks to go make it happen. You know, maybe then go trade R.J. Barrett or something. But I mean, if you could keep Barrett, then maybe you do this trade. I still think it's terrible, but okay, maybe you do this trade, you keep Barrett, and then maybe you could package the other 16 picks and Barrett and go get another mid-tier guy. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what their logic is. I don't know what the goal is. It's something I've talked about in the past here on this channel in videos, is that like what is the New York Knicks identity? Like, what is their direction? You know, they talk about all this stuff. Oh, they're this new team, and it's a new regime, and you know, they're this, that, and the other. But they just keep doing the same things the New York Knicks have done the last 30 years to be terrible. Like, they haven't been a legit contender in 30 years. Since Walt Frazier, they haven't had a legit point guard. Nothing. Like, they've been terrible. And this is the biggest market in the NBA. But this is the type of trades that make you continue to be terrible. Like, will they be a playoff team? Probably. But they're not going to be a legit contender with these two. There's no way. They have no size. They're undersized. They have no defense. Donovan Mitchell has the potential to be a good defender. I mean, he came into the league as a known defender, right? With Louisville and stuff. But still, that doesn't mean he's going to translate that into the NBA. And that doesn't mean that the time hasn't passed. Like, I just think that Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, they're the exact same player. Why did you go get Jalen Brunson to go trade for Donovan Mitchell? And even then, like, why would you want to? Like, obviously, okay, Donovan Mitchell wasn't available at the time. Okay, but then why would you trade for him now when you have Jalen Brunson? What are you going to do? You're going to trade Jalen Brunson? You're going to try to make this work? It makes no sense to me. Donovan Mitchell, I think, is a great player. I really like his game. I really think he's a guy that could be a solid player on a championship team. I don't think he's the leader of that championship team. I don't think he's the guy that gets you to the championship. I think he is your second or third option at best. I think he could be a really good second option and an incredible third option. I think realistically, like if you have a team and you have somebody like, I don't know, like if he was on Milwaukee with Giannis, like I think he would be a perfect fit for that, you know, something like that. Or like the Toronto Raptors where you have a bunch of big wings that can play defense, make up for the lack of him, and they just need like that go-to scorer. Donovan Mitchell would be perfect for that. I just don't see this being beneficial for I see this being nothing but a total disaster. But that's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. So as always, I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? How do you feel about this? Do you think, yes, I agree with you, this is a stupid trade? I don't know what else to... If you're the Utah Jazz, this is the Godfather trade if you were the Utah Jazz. If this is a real trade scenario and you're the Jazz, you do this. I don't care how high you value Donovan Mitchell. You're talking 6 first-round draft picks, a young, up-and-coming player in R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and Derrick Rose, which Derrick Rose you're probably going to flip for another first-round pick or a couple second rounds or a pick swap or something. You're going to get some value of him because there are enough teams in this league that would like him as a backup point guard. So I think if you're the Utah Jazz, this is a king's ransom for you. But for the New York Knicks, I just think this makes no sense, and I don't understand it. I don't. If you help me understand this. If you like this trade, let me know in the comment section to make this make sense to me, because this makes no sense to me. How is Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson going to work together when they're both 6'1", undersized guards that do the exact same thing and play zero defense? Like, yeah, it's great. Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson are going to average 25 points each, night in and night out. That's great, but they're going to give up 30. So it's like, okay, like you're still going to lose. Like, it makes no sense to me. This trade is just completely illogical. But again, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. One last little shameless plug is I did start As It Stands Lakers. It is a channel just like this, dedicated to only the Lakers, because the Lakers are my favorite team. And on this channel, As It Stands, I talk about all teams, all sports, stuff like that. We have football season coming up, so I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. And I just wanted to make a dedicated channel to the Lakers to give the ins and outs. Now, all the big stuff, all the big news and stuff, I will still post here on this channel. But if you want all the ins and outs and just rumors and theories and just discussions just strictly on the Lakers, link down in the description or in the comment section. Go check out the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.